Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here and it's Wednesday the 11th of July. Thanks again for watching. As always, you visiting the site is what keeps it free of charge because it means we can show you adverts, and the more adverts we show, the more revenue it generates. And if you click on one, that generates revenue for us as well. So that's why we like coming back to the site, because you can see the adverts there. Use the charts, spread the word amongst your friends. That's what keeps all this free of charge. Okay, lots of talk, and I told you it would happen. Those of you following me on Twitter and Facebook know. I did tell you that climate change was going to be rammed to the fore because of this wet weather that we've been having. And it's the truth, there are some real spurious stories that have been linked together out there. And as you know, what I try to do here is to give you the facts. I describe myself as a healthy skeptic when it comes to human-induced global warming. Of course, climate change is happening all the time, but I tend to sway between opinions on this. And I must admit, at the moment, whenever this hysteria starts, I tend to fall into the camp of going back into the skeptic again, because the science just gets lost. And when I hear the scientists talking about global warming and climate change as well, I just despair, because they fall into the same traps all the time. Lots of talk this morning on the radio about the jet stream and how melting of Arctic sea ice could be responsible for changes in the jet stream. Apparently the jet stream is doing more loops than it should be. No, it's not. The jet stream is not one continuous loop of winds around the poles, around the hemisphere. That doesn't happen. The jet stream always meanders around. Those meanderings are what I show you in the 500 millibar flows, and where we get a U-shaped meandering, that's a trough. Where we get an N-shaped meandering, that's a ridge. They happen all the time, okay? Whether it's down to Arctic sea ice, well, the jury's out on that one. It's a new theory that's been put forward, but like any scientific theory, it needs to be tested, and it's not been tested fully yet. So it's not being thrown out, but it is simply just a theory. Sunspots, do they have anything to do with it? Well, they may, but we don't know all the details of that just at the moment, and we're kind of working on it as well. You can probably hear the weather wolf there in the background barking away. You see, whenever I mention climate change, that's what happens to him too. But let me just show you some facts here about sunspots and about Arctic sea ice before we get onto the forecast. Okay, this is sunspots and the average numbering from the sunspots through various sunspot cycles, and you see here we go back to 1996. So here was cycle 23. Look, we peaked, had a double peak. It actually peaked in the early part of 2002. It came off. We went to a minimum of sunspot activity 2009, and now it's risen up once again. So the prediction is this dotted line here. We're into what we call cycle 24, and there's a cycle roughly every 11 years. Notice how cycle 24 is much lower than cycle 23, so there is no doubt that the sun is not as active through this next 11 or so year cycle as we go into cycle number 24. The sun is not as active. That's not to link it with climate in any way, shape or form at the moment, but it's not as active. That's the fact. I'll show you another fact as well. This is from Anthony Watts' What's Up With That.com page. This is the extent of Arctic sea ice, where we have 15% or greater coverage. Okay, so we've got the months across the bottom here, and the blue line here is the coverage in 2012. We've got the grey line here, the dense grey line is the 1979 to 2000 average, and the dashed line here is the 2007, which was considered by many to be the minimum. Now, notice what's happened in 2012. Look, we kind of hovered around the average figures, but then it did melt off, and it has melted off rapidly through May, June and into July. This is as the Arctic has got warmer. Obviously there we've had high pressure, we've had more sunshine, it's warmed up, and that's what's led to this cooling off, and this is to this melting of the sea ice, and kind of that's what you would expect given what conditions we have here, cool and wet. The drier sunnier, warmer conditions get displaced, so they're displaced north and south of us, so it's natural that that would happen. But it could be that that has an effect on the jet stream, or is it the jet stream that's caused that to happen? And I think it's more likely to be that way around. I just wanted to show you that because we're going to get lots and lots of stories like this coming up over the next few days. Okay, what do I want to show you? Well, first of all, let's get into the frontal chart. Can I show you the frontal charts? Where are we? Not that one. Actually, let's get back to that one there. Okay, that's the ensemble prediction. Let's take you through the coming days. And this is how things shape up. We've got the time up here in the top right hand corner. So this is the chart valid for 6 o'clock this evening. I was just thinking, actually, you know what, if I show you the frontal charts, this video is going to go on forever. So let's just stick with this just at the moment. So here is the ensemble. This is for this evening. This unstable northwesterly flow bringing showers again across much of the country. Here's tomorrow's rain that we're waiting to come in. There's high pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and it's this high pressure that's further north as well that's causing the Arctic sea ice to melt. So into the morning on Thursday, well, we have a weak ridge of high pressure through. For many of us, it should be a fine start to the morning, good spells of sunshine. But look, this rain into southwest Ireland, into southwest England early on, and by the end of the day on Thursday, the rain has spread across southern Ireland, southern Wales, many southern counties of England, and it could become heavy too across these southern counties of England through the course of the day on Thursday. 30 millimetres plus is entirely possible down here, and of course, given that the ground's southern already, it could lead to some more localised flooding. Across northern parts of England and Scotland, here we've got dry conditions with sunny spells throughout the day, although the cloud increasing with that rain in the south. Overnight into Friday, still rain lingering on across the south, and that really is reluctant to clear away during the course of Friday. Still heavy bursts of rain around in the south through Friday, perhaps tending to turn showery, but again we could find some torrential downpours across England, Wales and Southern Ireland. Scotland, you'll notice, tending to stay dry, as will northeastern parts of England. And then as we head into the weekend, well, for Saturday we finally see any residual rain clearing eastwards, but again on Saturday a mix of sunny spells and heavy showers developing for England and Wales. Scotland, northwest England and northern parts of Ireland should be drier with some sunny spells here, and look at this ridge of high pressure just starting to build in. And then as we head into the 15th, which is taking us through into Sunday, a better day on Sunday. I think this is the peak of the weekend, really. I think sunny spells and dry through Sunday. There could just be a few showers developing in the afternoon here and there over high ground, but essentially it's dry, it's fine, and we've got some good sunny spells. Now look, deepening area of low pressure out in the Atlantic again, but this is what I want you to notice. This is the Azores High. Notice how that's become displaced northwards, and how we're getting these ridges building off the Azores High. This is the sign of things starting to change. It's not going to be an overnight change, but this is the sign that things are still looking to change as once we get past the middle of the month. So let's head into Monday. Now this is Monday, look. We've got a front dragging through Scotland and Ireland and perhaps northwest England, bringing outbreaks of rain. Pretty breezy across much of the country too, but for many southern areas it is going to be dry with the Azores High building in. Then we head into Tuesday, and again on Tuesday, a front gets stuck through Ireland, southern Scotland, some outbreaks of rain, western and southern Scotland, and over Ireland to perhaps northwest England. But for many parts of England and Wales, eastern Scotland and northeast England, it's a drier day with some sunny spells and feeling warmer. Heading into Wednesday now, well, for many of us it turns showerier. I think some heavy showers or longer spells of rain across Scotland and Ireland as well as northern England. But to the south, here the showers tending to be more scattered, but there will be more showers around than there have been on previous days. So for Wednesday, looking like it is going to be a showerier day. Then as we head into Thursday, still a mix of sunny spells and showers. These heavy and torrentialous times as they move southwards, particularly across northern and western areas. Fewer showers across southern England through Thursday. And then for Friday, well, again we find some dry conditions coming in on Friday, although there will be a few showers around. I think though Friday could be a brighter day across the country with some sunny spells again. Notice how this is becoming more frequent language, these sunny spells. Into the weekend, well, the ridge from the Azores High really starts to build in. However, we have got this southwesterly flow, so I think what will happen is lots of low cloud and drizzle coming into western and southern Ireland, perhaps western Scotland too. Perhaps troubling western coast of Wales, but for many of us, it is going to go drier. And then heading into the 22nd, which is taking us into Sunday. Look, we find this ridge trying to get in, but I think for many, Sunday probably a cloudier day. Rain in the north and the west again, most of it light and drizzly, less of it in the east and the south, where it should be generally dry. But then as we head into the new week, on Monday, the high really striving to get its act together. I think sunshine and showers for many, quite breezy as well, but dry to the south with sunny spells moving north. Heading into the middle part of the week, the 24th is Tuesday, and sunny spells coming through again, some showers across northern and western Scotland, but just look, heading into the 25th, the high really trying to get itself in there. So I do think that we are going to be seeing an improvement in conditions as we head towards the end of July. It may not last, it may only be a 5 or 6 day spell, but there is an improvement particularly across the southern half of the country. Not so across Scotland, where there could still be rain across the north and the west, but the east is probably looking a little bit drier. Now that's the just to finish off with, this is the temperature chart for London from the GFS Ensemble. The red here are the maximum temperatures day to day, and you'll notice how there is a definite slight upward trend there. Notice too, heavy rain at first, but look how the rainfall amounts tending to become less. So we're not saying it's going to be completely dry by any means, but it's a definite improvement on what we've had, and I think we'll start to see that coming in from about the 15th onwards. Okay, so thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Please do tell your friends about the site, and as I said, the more you come back and visit the site, the more you view the charts, the information we've got on there, the more we can show the adverts, which generates revenue and keeps the site free of charge. So thanks again for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.